Listen closely, because what I'm about to tell you, no woman says out loud. Not to men, not even to her closest friends. These are the hidden signs she's falling for you, silently, deeply, and without you even knowing. Until now. Welcome to Empowered Heart, where we dive deep into understanding love, attraction, and the unspoken signs a woman shows when she's falling for you. Make sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel so you never miss insights that can help you connect on a deeper level. These are the secrets, the quiet signs, the subtle gestures, and the tiny moments that occur when a woman is already falling but is still pretending she isn't. And if you've ever felt like a woman looks at you just a little too long, if her voice changes ever so slightly when she says your name, if something between you feels charged, heavy, full of tension that never gets spoken, it's not your imagination. A woman doesn't fall loudly. She falls slowly, silently, in fragments. And before she admits it, her body, her actions, her energy, her very presence is giving it away. So let me guide you through how to notice what she's been trying so hard to hide. You see, when a woman starts to fall for a man, she doesn't run toward him. She pulls him toward her. Not with words, not with obvious signs, but with gravity, with the subtle way she exists in the world. Suddenly, when you're in the room, she becomes more aware of herself, of how she sits, how she moves, how she sounds. Her laughter changes, her breathing shifts, and her nervous system already knows what her mouth is still too afraid to admit. And that, my friend, is the first secret most men miss. When a woman is falling for you, she exposes her emotions before she ever allows herself to be physically close. She starts sharing things she has never told anyone, not because she plans to, but because around you, she feels safe. Safety is everything. A woman doesn't feel safe to someone she doesn't emotionally connect with. She will begin to reveal her fears, her disappointments, the moments she felt small, the relationships that hurt her, and the things that still ache inside her. And she will say it casually, almost as if it doesn't matter, but it does. Vulnerability is the deepest form of intimacy for a woman. And when she starts giving it to you, it means you've crossed into a sacred space few ever occupy. And then something even more remarkable begins. She starts noticing you. Not just that you exist in the same room, but how you think, how you react, how you see the world. She starts storing the small details about you that most men assume go unnoticed. She remembers the tiniest details, the things you may have forgotten, your favorite drink, a story you told weeks ago, a joke you made once. Each memory becomes a thread connecting you to her. You start to occupy a special space in her mind without even realizing it. But she won't admit it. Instead, she teases you, challenges you, sometimes even pulls back slightly. Because when a woman feels herself falling, she becomes acutely aware of the power you now hold over her heart. She pretends she doesn't care, yet her eyes betray her every time. When she looks at you, it's not casual. It's searching, studying, trying to understand the effect you have on her. And here's another truth men rarely understand. A woman who isn't interested will keep you at arm's length in the background of her life. But a woman who is falling will slowly pull you into the center of her world. She will start making time for you even when she's busy, even when she pretends she's indifferent. She will reply faster, stay longer, find reasons to be around you, not because she's lonely, but because your presence feels like home. You relax her in ways she can't fully explain, and she instinctively moves toward what makes her feel alive. She may claim she's independent, She may insist she isn't looking for anything, but emotionally, she's already leaning into you. And leaning is the beginning of falling. You will notice other things as well. She becomes more expressive around you, almost without realizing it. Her tone changes, softens, and sometimes deepens in warmth or playfulness. She laughs more when you speak, touches her hair absent-mindedly, angles her body subtly toward you. These are instinctive actions, not accidents. Her body is responding to the man her heart is curious about. Curiosity is always the first step toward love, and her instincts are already guiding her toward you. But here lies the danger for her. The more she starts wanting you, the more questions flood her mind. Does he like me? Am I giving too much? What if I get hurt? This is when she pulls back just a little. She gets quieter, pretends she's less interested, not because her feelings have faded, but because she's feeling too much. That push and pull, the tension you feel, that's her wrestling with herself. One part of her wants to move closer, to give in to her emotions. Another part wants to protect herself, to stay safe. That's why she may seem warm one day, distant the next. But beneath all of it, the truth remains unchanged. She's emotionally attached. You can never confuse a woman who doesn't care. What confuses you is a woman who cares deeply and is scared of what that means. She will reveal herself in fleeting moments of softness, of worry, of gentle concern. When she checks if you're okay, when she quietly worries about you, when jealousy flickers across her face but is hidden beneath a smile. That is not insecurity. That is investment. Women don't invest in men they don't care about. And when she begins to mirror you, unconsciously adopting your words, your habits, your subtle mannerisms, it's her nervous system syncing with yours. This is how connection forms, how attraction deepens, how love quietly begins. She won't announce it, won't make grand gestures, but she will remain close emotionally, mentally, energetically. And if you disappear for even a moment, she notices. She checks in, asks where you've been, pretending she doesn't care, but she does. Because once a woman starts falling for you, you become part of her emotional routine. She carries your presence in her thoughts, her movements, her subtle choices. You become a quiet gravity in her world, even if she can't admit it to herself. Every smile, every glance, every moment she stays nearby, every question she asks, or subtle, teasing remark she makes, all of it is a signal. The more you pay attention, the clearer it becomes. You aren't imagining the signs. She is slowly, silently, piece by piece, opening her heart to you, even while pretending she isn't. That, my friend, is the art of a woman falling, quietly, irreversibly, completely. And losing that feels uncomfortable, almost unbearably so. Here's something almost no man truly understands. A woman who hides her feelings is often far more in love than the one who shows them openly. Why? Because she is protecting something precious, something she doesn't give lightly. She is guarding her heart, her emotions, the fragile space where her affection and vulnerability meet. That level of care proves that what she feels for you is real, deep, and lasting. So if you notice the subtle signs, the lingering glances, the teasing smiles, the soft touches, the emotional closeness, don't doubt it. She isn't confused. She's falling, and she's doing so deliberately, silently, with a careful tenderness that only a truly invested heart can create. And this is only the beginning. As a woman continues to fall, her gestures, her attention, and her behavior become increasingly revealing, impossible to ignore or hide. You'll start noticing the little ways she prioritizes you emotionally, the way her energy subtly shifts when you're around. She begins to weave you into her thoughts, her routines, and her intentions without ever explicitly saying it. Her presence becomes a quiet, magnetic force in your life, and even the smallest moments, the way she laughs at your jokes, the way she waits for your messages, the way she seems attuned to your mood, signal that you are no longer just a casual presence. You are someone she emotionally chooses, and every choice she makes around you reinforces the gravity of her feelings. Once a woman reaches this stage, what she feels is no longer simple attraction. It becomes attachment. And attachment is far more profound, far more powerful than desire alone. When she is falling for you, she begins to emotionally prioritize your presence in subtle, almost imperceptible ways. She checks your mood before speaking about herself, adjusts her tone when you're tired, and becomes sensitive to your energy because you matter to her. She notices what you notice and reacts to what affects you. These are not performative actions. They are instinctive, organic responses that reveal a heart deeply invested. She begins asking questions that go beyond small talk, seeking to understand your mind, your vision, your dreams, because she is considering whether you belong in her future. There's also a transformation that occurs in her personality. She softens. Walls she's carefully built around herself begin to fade. Her defensiveness relaxes, sarcasm diminishes, and she allows you to witness the tender, vulnerable parts of her that few ever see. She shows you the part that worries, the part that hopes, the part that longs to be emotionally held and understood. She becomes warmer, not louder, not more dramatic, just more authentic. And that authenticity is courage. It's risky because the more she exposes herself, the more vulnerable she becomes. And yet, this vulnerability is an invitation, a quiet signal that she trusts you with her heart. Along with that vulnerability, she begins to share her past wounds, her fears about love, her moments of betrayal, and the times she learned not to rely on anyone. She doesn't do this to gain sympathy or dramatize her story. She does this because she hopes you will be different. When a woman reveals her pain to you, she is subtly saying, "Please don't hurt me." And this is one of the purest forms of intimacy. She wants you to see not just her present, but the experiences that shaped her. She wants you to understand her depth, her resilience, and her heart. And if you notice closely, this is how she invites you into the inner world of her love. Another sign most men completely miss is how a woman wants to impress you emotionally rather than superficially. She isn't focused on looks or flirtation. She wants you to respect her, recognize her strength, her intelligence, her dreams. She begins talking about her goals, what she wants to become, and the life she envisions for herself, because she's silently inviting you into her emotional landscape. This is love in its most grounded form, and it requires attention to truly notice. And when a woman hides her feelings, she becomes extra careful, calculating her words, considering her actions, overthinking a simple message, because love is never relaxed. It is careful, tense, protective. Indifference is easy. Love is meticulous. Love is afraid to make mistakes. And when she feels you pulling away, even slightly, she senses it immediately. You may not say a word, you may not act differently, but she feels the distance. When a woman begins to fall, words like, "We could maybe someday you would love," are never casual. Those words are emotional doorways, tiny openings into the heart she's carefully protecting. They aren't idle thoughts. They're subtle invitations to glimpse what she feels, but isn't ready to admit. So if you've been sensing something deeper than surface attraction, you're right. She's not just interested. She's emotionally invested, leaning in quietly, trying to be brave enough to show you a heart she guards fiercely. Every glance, every teasing smile, every moment of attention, every soft laugh, all of it is her silently saying that you matter and that her feelings are real, even if she doesn't voice them yet. As a woman draws closer to truly falling in love, the signs intensify. They become undeniable, impossible to hide, and increasingly consistent in subtle ways that reveal her emotional truth. She starts prioritizing you emotionally without announcing it, weaving your presence into her thoughts, her decisions, her routines. She checks on your mood before she talks about herself, adjusts her tone when you seem off, and becomes attuned to your energy because your state now matters to her. And as this emotional investment deepens, she begins to soften, to let her guard down. Walls she's built around herself fade gradually. Her sarcasm and defensiveness relax, and she allows you glimpses of the parts of her that hope, fear, and long to be seen. She becomes warmer, not louder, not more dramatic, just more authentic. This is love quietly revealing itself. And it takes courage, because the more she opens herself, the more vulnerable she becomes. You might see her joke or tease, pretending the moment isn't serious. Yet beneath the surface, she is carefully giving you pieces of her heart, inviting you into her inner world. You may not speak or act differently, yet she notices, reaching out subtly, a text, a question, a reason to connect. Because silence feels loud when she is emotionally attached. She will defend you when others criticize, speak kindly about you when you're absent, and gradually weave you into her life, her routines, her mornings, her plans, without a word. And those words, "we could maybe someday you would love," are not idle. They are emotional doorways. They indicate a heart already choosing you, even as her lips remain cautious. If you've sensed growing closeness, warmth, and intimacy, you are correct. Your presence in her life matters in ways she may never explicitly announce, yet her actions reveal everything she cannot yet say. When a woman is truly falling for you, she becomes emotionally consistent. She shows up, she stays connected, and she keeps you in her life not as an option, but as part of her rhythm. She begins revealing glimpses of her future in subtle ways, where she wants to travel, the life she envisions, the love she hopes to experience. She shares her dreams, her values, and her desires, not in grand declarations, but in everyday choices that reflect how you are becoming part of her world. A woman who is falling will want you to feel good around her, safe, valued, and seen. Your emotions start to matter to her, because when someone becomes important in a woman's heart, your emotional world matters as much as her own. Even the smallest moments of presence and warmth are her way of silently saying, "You belong in my life." You may notice something even more telling. In moments of closeness, she allows herself to be slightly vulnerable. She might say she misses you, that she enjoys being with you, or that you make her feel calm. These are not casual words tossed carelessly into conversation. They are emotional confessions disguised as ordinary statements, signals of her heart quietly opening. The biggest sign of all comes when she stops pretending that you don't matter. Not loudly, not dramatically, but quietly, consistently, and deeply. You become someone she cares for, emotionally and spiritually. And when she reaches this stage, she is no longer hiding. She's simply waiting until she feels safe enough to fully let you in. A woman who is falling doesn't want perfection. She wants emotional safety. She wants to feel that if she entrusts her heart to you, you will be gentle with it. Her vulnerability is a gift, and how you respond determines whether love deepens or retreats. So when you notice the subtle signs, the attention, the emotional closeness, the quiet moments of trust, what matters most is your response. Do you stay present? Do you listen deeply? Do you make her feel safe and seen? Love flourishes where someone feels acknowledged and welcomed, not pressured. If she reaches out, meet her with calm confidence, not fear or impatience. When a woman feels emotionally held, she relaxes into love, and that is the foundation of real connection. It is in this space, free from games and uncertainty, that two people can truly choose to be together, intentionally, naturally, and wholeheartedly. So if you sense something special growing between you and her, don't rush it. Let it deepen and unfold organically. The most beautiful love is the one that grows naturally, without force, without pressure, but with mutual care, presence, and patience. And now, if this message has resonated with you, if you felt something stir in your heart, make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and share it with someone who needs to hear it. Understanding love transforms everything, and you deserve a connection that feels authentic, deep, and real. This is where our journey together ends, but yours is only just beginning. If this spoke to your heart, make sure to like, subscribe to Empowered Heart, hit the bell so you never miss a moment, and comment the word connection below if this video resonated with you and you loved the message.